Welcome back. In Jamaica, relative calm has returned to downtown Kingston, where in May over 100 persons lost their lives as state authorities looked for notorious gun runner and drug dealer Christopher Dudus Cook. Still, Jamaica's Commissioner of Police has committed himself to continuing to restore order.
Police Commissioner Owen Ellington assured the private sector organization of Jamaica's PSOJ President's Forum on Friday, July 23rd in Ocho Rios that the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, was committed to restoring security, peace and order to Jamaica, saying, "The work which we started on May 23rd is not over. It could not have been completed in the short space of time between then and now. We were anticipating an extension of those limited powers so that we could complete the job. We no longer have those powers, but we are determined to carry on our operations. We are determined to restore security, peace and order to this country." This came in response to the end of the state of emergency imposed on May 23rd to Kingston, St. Andrew, and eventually St. Catherine. The state of emergency was lifted abruptly last Thursday after the government failed to get opposition support in Parliament to extend it for another month. He assured those present at the meeting, members of the business community and the Jamaican public, that although the JCP no longer held emergency power, they would continue to work collaboratively with the security forces. He warned that there would be challenges ahead. However, the security force, defense force and the police force would continue to work to regain control of the streets, adding that new strategies had been crafted to help ensure their success. This has been Kimberly Martins for WE News.
To the northwest of Jamaica, the oil spill continues to wreak havoc in the Gulf of Mexico. However, the oil is not the focus tonight, but the business, where after a multitude of public bumblings and growing criticisms, BP's chief executive, Tony Haywood, stepped down from the post this week.
An environmental disaster and now a financial one. The Gulf of Mexico oil spill costing BP more than £20 billion so far. The ever-flowing black stuff pushing the oil giant into the red for the first time in 18 years. BP posting an £11 billion loss over the last quarter as a result of the Deepwater Horizon tragedy. A big hit, but Business Secretary Vince Cable has no doubt it will weather out this storm.
It clearly is a very strong company financially. It seems to have overcome the first stage of the technical problems, and I think we're optimistic that it's going to move beyond this crisis.
The company also confirming what most people had expected. Chief Executive Tony Haywood is to go, but not very far. After committing a series of PR blunders since the crisis began in the Gulf, he's being replaced by Bob Dudley, an American. Mixed emotions for BP's chairman, Carl-Henrik Spanberg. He said the firm was deeply saddened to lose a chief executive whose success was so widely and deservedly admired, but he must have felt a sense of relief as well. Mr. Haywood won't be feeling too sore, though. He'll live with a payoff of 1 year's salary, just over £1 million, not to mention an £11 million pension pot. Mr. Haywood will step down in October, but will remain on the board until the end of November. And after annoying the Americans, he's been put forward as a non-executive director of BP's joint venture with the Russians.
The bad press, the billions it would take to run a successful cleanup campaign, and the tarnished public image has all taken a toll on the company's dollar value. Now, Greenpeace, a well-known environmental organization, targets BP stations on its home ground. We bring you this report in our environmental feature.
It's almost like business as usual for BP, for a company burdened by the Gulf of Mexico oil spill, public outcry in America, attacks from the White House and US politicians. A protest by environmental campaigners must almost seem like a pleasant change. Greenpeace claiming to have closed down around 50 BP petrol stations in central London. Its executive director in the UK, John Sovan, explains why.
We want BP to pause. They're going to change the boss. We want them to change the strategy. We want them to move beyond petroleum, to get out of the risky developments in the Deepwater Gulf, in the tar sands of Canada, in the Arctic, develop cleaner fuels, renewable energy.
Activists stopping the flow of fuel by flipping safety switches, removing them to prevent the forecourts reopening. BP say only around a dozen service stations have been affected and they will be reopened as soon as it was safe to do so. The spokesman describing the stunt as irresponsible and childish. Most motorists caught out similarly unimpressed.
There are many more urgent matters in the world to consider than closing down a few petrol stations.
It's a publicity stunt, I guess it's called, for Greenpeace. It's tedious and extreme.
It's disgraceful what BP have done. Absolutely fantastic. They've leaked more per week than the Exxon Valdez did. Good luck to them.
Away from BP now to India. In tonight's Science, Technology and Health segment, we take a look at efforts by the Indian government to provide cheap computers to its tertiary level students.
The Indian government has unveiled the prototype of an iPad-like touchscreen laptop. The latest buzz surrounding the computer is not the technology, but the price tag of $35 or 23 pounds. The laptop is targeted towards the country's students, supporting web browsing, video conferencing, and word processing. According to Human Resource and Development Minister Kapil Sibal, the government is currently seeking out manufacturers for the gadget. The laptop was developed by India's top IT colleges, and it is hoped that it can be introduced to higher education institutions in 2011. This laptop would be a strong competitor against Mac's $499 iPad. However, an earlier cheap laptop launched by the same ministry last year called Sakshat failed to materialize, possessing an unspecified price tag. In this instance, a ministry spokesperson, Mamta Varma, expressed confidence in the success of the ministry's latest efforts, stating that falling hardware costs made the device feasible. The device revealed to the world on Thursday has no hard disk, using a memory card instead, and can run on solar power, according to reports. In 2005, MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, unveiled a prototype $100 laptop for children in developing worlds. In reality, they costed double the price to manufacture. The tech world waits to see if this newest model will achieve what others have failed to, a truly affordable laptop.
Well, we're definitely interested in seeing how that turns out, especially since our current government plans to give successful SA students laptops. Could save TNT some dollars. Well, we're taking another quick break now, and when we come back, Trinidad and Tobago on a sporting high.